bequeath me by will but pour 1,000 crowns. And as thou sayest, charge my elder brother to bring me up well. And there begins my sadness. My brother James, he keeps a school, and reports to speak goldenly of his prophet. For my part, he keeps me rustically at home, or to speak more properly, stays me here, at home, unkept. For call you that keeping of a gentleman of my birth, that it is not from the stalling of an ox? His horses are bred better, in that they are fair with their feeding, they are taught their manage, and to that end, riders dearly hired. But I, his brother, gain nothing under him but growth, for the which his animals on his dunghills are as much bound to him as I. Besides this nothing that he so plentifully gives me, the something that nature gave me, his forbidding countenance seems to take from me. He makes me feed with his servants, bars me the place of a brother, and, as much as in him lies, undermines my gentility with my poor education. This is it, Adam, that grieves me, and the spirit of my father, which I think is within me, begins to mutiny against his servitude. I will no longer endure it, yet I know no way truly how to avoid it.
Yonder comes my master, your brother.
Go apart, Adam, and thou shalt hear how he reviews me.
Now, sir, what make you here?
Nothing. I'm not taught to make anything.
What mar you then, sir?
Marry, sir, I'm not you to mar that which God made. A poor unworthy brother of yours with idleness.
Marry, sir, be better employed, and go to the devil.
Should I keep your hogs and eat husk with them? What part of proportion have I spent to come to such penury?
Know you where you are, sir?
Oh, sir, very well. Here in your orchard.
Know you before whom, sir?
I, better than him I am before knows me. I know you are my eldest brother, and in the gentle condition of blood, you should so know me. The courtesy of nations allows you my better, in that you are the firstborn. But the same tradition takes not away my blood, where there are 20 brothers betwixt us. I've as much as my father in me as you.
What? Boy!
Come, elder brother! You are too young in this!
Wilt thou lay hands on me, villain?
I'm no villain! I'm the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys. He was my father, and is thrice a villain, as said such a father begot villains. Wert thou not my brother, I would not take his hand from thy throat, for the other had pulled out thy tongue for saying so. Thou hast insulted thyself.
Please, master, be patient. Your father's remembrance be at a call.
Let me go, I say! I will not till I please. You shall hear me. My father charged you his will to bring me up well. You have trained me like a peasant, obscuring and hiding from me all gentlemanlike qualities. The spirit of my father grows strong in me. I will no longer endure it. Therefore, allow me such occupations as may to become a gentleman, or give me the poor a lottery my father gave to me by testament. Well, that all but go by my fortune.
And what wilt thou do? Beg when that is spent. Well, sir, get you in. I will not long be troubled with you. You shall have some part of your will. I pray you leave me.
I will no further offend you that becomes me for my good.
Get you with him, you old dog!
Is old dog my reward? Most true, I have lost teeth in your service. God be with my old master. He would not have spoke such a word.
Is it even so? Begin you to grow upon me? I will cure your stinking insolence. And yet, give no 1,000 crowns, neither. Holla, Dennis.
Call, your worship.
Was not Charles, the Duke's wrestler, here to speak with me?
So please you, he is here at the door and importunes access to you.
Call him in. Twill be a good way. And tomorrow the wrestling is.
Good morrow to your worship.
Good, Monsieur Charles. What's the new news at the new court?
There is no news at the court, sir, but the old news. And that is that the old Duke is banished by his younger brother, the new Duke Frederick, and 3 or 4 loving lords have put themselves into voluntary exile with him, whose lands and revenues much enrich the new duke, and therefore he gives them good leave to wander.
Can you tell if Rosalind, the old duke's daughter, be banished with her father?
Oh no. For the duke's daughter Celia so loves her cousin Rosalind that she would have followed her into exile, or have died to stay behind her. Rosalind remains at the court, and is no less beloved of her uncle than of his own daughter, and never two ladies loved as they do.
Can you say where the old duke will live?
They say he is already in the forest of Arden, and a many merry men with him, and there they live, like the old Robin Hood of England. They say many young gentlemen flock to him every day, and fleet the time carelessly as they did in the golden.
What? You wrestle tomorrow before the new duke?
Marry do I, sir. And I came to acquaint you with a matter. I am given, sir, secretly to understand that your younger brother Orlando hath a disposition to come in disguised against me to try a fall. Tomorrow, sir, I wrestle for my credit, and any man that escapes me without some broken limb shall acquit him well. Your brother is young and tender, and for your love I will be loath to throw him, as I must, for mine own honour if he come in. And therefore, out of my love for you, I came hither withal, to acquaint you that either you might stop him, or brook such disgrace well that he shall run into, in that it is a thing of his own seeking, and altogether against my will.
Child, I thank thee for thy love to me, which thou shalt find I will most kindly requite. I had myself notice of my brother's purpose herein, and had, by underhand means, laboured to dissuade him from it, but he is resolute. I'll tell thee, Charles, it is the stubbornest young fellow, full of ambition, an envious emulator of every man's good parts, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. Therefore, use thy discretion. I hint thou wouldst break his neck as his finger, and thou wert best look to it, for if thou dost him only slight disgrace, he will practice against thee by poison, entrap thee by some treacherous device, and never leave thee till he have taken thy life by some indirect means or other. For I assure thee, and almost with tears I speak it, there is not one so young and yet so villainous this day living. I speak but brotherly him. But should I reveal him to you as he is, I must blush and weep, and thou must look pale and wondering.
I am heartily glad I came hither to you. If you come in, I'll give him his patron, or I'll never wrestle for prize more. And so, God keep your worship.
Farewell, good Charles. Now will I stir this gamester. I hope I shall see an end of him, for my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. Yet he's gentle, never schooled, and yet learned, of all sorts magically beloved, and indeed so much in the heart of the world, especially my own people who best know him, that I am altogether scorned. But it shall not be so long. This wrestler shall clear all. Nothing remains but that I kindle the boy to the match, which now I'll go about.
Rosalind, sweet my coz, be merry.
Dear Celia, I show more mirth than I am mistress of.
And would you yet were merrier?
Unless you could teach me to forget about banished father, you must not learn me how to remember any extraordinary pleasure.
Herein I see thou lovest me not with the full weight that I love thee. If my uncle, thy banished father, had banished thy uncle the Duke my father, so thou hadst still been with me, I would have taught thy love to take thy father for mine. So wouldst thou, if the truth of thy love was so righteously tempered as mine is to thee.
Well, I will forget the condition of my estate to rejoice in yours.
You know my father hath no child but I, nor none is like to have. And surely when he died, thou shalt be his heir. For what he hath taken away from my father perforce, I will render thee again in affection. By mine honour I will. And when I break that oath, let me turn monster. Therefore, my sweet Rose, my dear Rose, be merry.
Henceforth I will, coz, and devise sports. Let me see. What think you of falling in love?
Marry, I prithee do, to make sport with all, but love no man in good earnest, nor no further in sport neither. Then, with the stately of a pure blush, thou mayst in honour fall out again. How now, witch, whither wander you?
Mistress, you must come away to your father.
Were you made the messenger?
No, by mine honour. Though I was bid to come to you.
Where learnt you that oath, fool? By mine honour.
Of a certain knight that swore by his honour that the pancakes were good, and swore by his honour that the mustard was naught. Now I'll stand to it that the pancakes were naught, and the mustard was good, and yet was not the knight forsworn.
How prove you that in the great heap of your knowledge?
Ay, marry, now unmuzzle your wisdom.
Stand you both forth now, stroke your chins and swear by your beards that I am a knave.
By our beards.
If we had them.
Thou art!
By my knavery, if I had it, then I were. For if you swear by that is not, then you are not forsworn. So no more was this knight swearing by his honour, for he never had any. Or if he'd had, he'd thrown it away before he ever saw those pancakes, or that mustard.
Here comes Monsieur Le Beau,
With his mouth full of news.
which he will put in us as pigeons feed their young.
Then shall we be news crammed.
All the better, we shall be more marketable. Bonjour, Monsieur Le Beau, what is the news?
Fair princess, you have lost much good sport.
Sport? Of what colour?
What colour? Madam, how should I answer you?
As wit and fortune will.
Or as the destinies decrees.
Well said, that was laid on with a trowel.
You amaze me, ladies. I would have told you of good wrestling, which you have lost the sight of.
Yet tell us the manner of the wrestling.
Oh, I will tell you the beginning, and if it please you, you may see the end. For the best is yet to do, and here where you are, they're coming to perform it.
Well, the beginning that is dead and buried.
There comes an old man and his 3 sons, 3 proper young men of excellent growth and presence. The eldest of the 3 wrestled with Charles, the Duke's wrestler, which Charles in a moment threw him and broke 3 of his ribs, so that there was little hope of life left in him. So he served the 2nd, and so the 3rd. Yonder they lie, the poor old man their father making such pitiful dole over them that all the beholders take his part with weeping.
Alas!
But what is the sport, monsieur, that the ladies have lost?
Why, this did I speak of course.
Thus men may go wiser every day. This is the first time that I have heard breaking of ribs, sport for ladies.
Or I promise thee.
Shall we see this wrestling, cousin?
You must if you stay here, for here is the place appointed, and they're ready to perform it.
Yonder sure they are coming. Let us now stay and see it.
Come on! Since the youth will not be entreated, his own peril on his forwardness.
Is yonder the man?
Even he, madam.
Alas, he is too young. Oh, yet he looks successfully.
How now, daughter, and cousin? Are you crept hither to see the wrestling?
Aye, my liege. So please you give us leave.
You will take little delight in it, I can tell you. All the advantage is with Charles. In pity of the challenger's youth, I would fain dissuade him, but he will not be entreated. Speak to him, ladies. See if you can move him.
Call him hither, good Monsieur Le Beau.
Do so. I'll not be by.
Monsieur the Challenger, the princess calls for you.
I tend them with all respect and duty.
Young man, have you challenged Charles the Wrestler?
No, fair princess. He is the general challenger. I come but in as others do, to try with him the strength of my youth.
Young gentleman, your spirits are too bold for your years. You have seen cruel proof of this man's strength. We pray, for your own sake, to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
Do, young sir. Your reputation shall not be harmed. We will make it our suit to the Duke that the wrestling might not go forward.
I confess me much guilty to deny so fair and excellent ladies anything. But let your fair eyes and gentle wishes go with me to my trial, wherein, if I be defeated, there is but one shame that was never esteemed. If killed, one dead that is willing to be so.
The little strength that I have, I would it were with you.
And mine to eke out hers.
Fare you well. Pray heaven I be deceived in you.
Your heart's desires be with you.
Come! Where is this young gallant that is so desirous to lie with his mother earth?
Ready, sir, but his will have in it a more modest aim.
You shall try but 1/4.
No, I warrant your grace, you shall not entreat him to a second that hath so mightily persuaded him from the first.
You mean to mock me after? You should not have mocked me before. Return your ways.
Now Hercules be thy speed, young man.
I would I were invisible to catch the strong fellow by the leg.
Go on, Charles! Go on, Charles! Excellent, young man!
Yes, I beseech your grace. I'm not yet well breathed.
How dost thou, Charles?
He cannot speak, my lord.
Bear him away. What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, my liege, the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys.
I would thou hadst been son to some man else. The world esteemed thy father honourable, but I did find him still mine enemy. Thou shouldst have better pleased me with this deed hadst thou descended from another house. But fare thee well, thou art a gallant youth. I would thou hadst told me of another father.
Were I my father, cuz, would I do this?
I am more proud to be Sir Roland's son, his youngest son. I would not change that calling to be adopted heir to Frederick.
My father loved Sir Roland as his soul, and all the world was of my father's mind. Had I before known this young man his son, I should have given him tears unto entreaties ere he should thus have ventured.
Gentle cousin, let us go thank him and encourage him. My father's rough and envious disposition sticks me at heart. Sir, you have well deserved. If you do keep your promises, justly as you've exceeded all, your mistress shall be happy.
Gentlemen, wear this for me. One out of suits with fortune, that could give more, but that her hand lacks means. Shall we go, cuz?
Aye. Very well, fair gentleman.
Can I not say I thank you? My better parts are all thrown down, and that which stands here up is but a statue, a mere lifeless block.
He calls us back! My pride fell with my fortunes, I'll ask him what he would. Did you call, sir? Sir, you have wrestled well, and overthrown more than your enemies.
Shall we go, cuz?
Have with you! Fare you well.
upon my tongue. I cannot speak to her, yet she urged conference. Oh, poor Orlando, thou art overthrown. Or Charles, or something weaker, masters thee.
Good sir, I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place, albeit you deserved high commendation, true applause, and love. Yet, indeed, such is the condition of the Duke that he misconstrues all that you have done. The Duke is changeful. What he is more indeed suits you to conceive than I to speak of.
I thank you, and pray you, tell me this. Which of the two was daughter of the Duke that here was at the wrestling?
Neither his daughter we judge by manners. Yet, indeed, the taller is his daughter. The other is daughter to the banished Duke, and entertained by her usurping uncle, to keep his daughter company, whose loves are dearer than the natural bond of sisters. Yet, indeed, I can tell you that of late this Duke hath gained much displeasure against his gentle niece, grounded upon no other argument but that the people praise her for her good virtues, and pity her for her good father's sake. And on my life, his malice against the lady will suddenly break forth. Good sir, I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place quickly, and hereafter in a better world, I desire more love and knowledge of you.
I raise much bow to you. Fare you well. Thus must I, from the smoke into the smother, from tyrant Duke unto a tyrant brother. But heavenly Rosalind,
Why, cousin? Why, Rosalind? Cupid have mercy, not a word.
It's not one to throw at a dog.
No. Thy words are too precious to be cast away upon curs. Come, throw some of them at me, lame me with reasons.
Then there were two cousins laid up, when the one should be lame with reasons and the other mad without any.
But is all this for your father?
No. Some of it is for my child's father. Oh, how full of briars is this working day world!
They are but birds, cousin, thrown upon us in holiday foolery. If we walk not in the trodden paths, our very petticoats will
I
catch
can
them.
take them off my coat, these furs are in my heart!
Come, come, wrestle with thy affections.
Oh, they take the part of a better wrestler than myself.
Can it be possible that on such a sudden you should fall into such a strong a liking with old Sir Roland's youngest son?
The Duke, my father, loved his father dearly.
Doth it therefore ensue that you should love his son dearly? By this kind of chase I should hate Orlando, for my father hated his father dearly. Yet I hate not Orlando.
No, they hate him. Not for my sake.
Why should I not love him? Doth he not deserve well?
Let me love him because he deserves it. And do you love him because I do? Look, here comes the Duke.
With his eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste and get you from our court.
Me, uncle?
You, cousin, within these 10 days, if that thou beest found so near our public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace, let me the knowledge of my fault bear with me. If with myself I hold intelligence, or have acquaintance with mine own desires, if that I do not dream or be not frantic, as I do trust I am not, then, dear uncle, never so much as in a thought unborn did I offend your highness.
Thus do all traitors. If their purgation did consist in words, they are as innocent as grace itself. Then it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Yet your mistrust cannot make me a traitor. Tell me whereon the likelihood depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter. There's enough.
So was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord. Or if we did derive from our kin, what's that to me? My father was no traitor. Then, good my liege, mistake me not so much to think my poverty is treacherous.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
Aye, Celia, we stayed her for your sake, else she had with her father ranged along.
I had not been intrigued to have her stay. It was your pleasure and your own remorse. I was too young that time to value her. But now I know her. Why, if she be a traitor, then so am I. We ever slept together. rose at an instant, learned, played, ate together. And wheresoever we went, still we went like Juno's swans, coupled and inseparable.
She is too subtle for thee, and her smoothness, her very silence and her patience speak to the people, and they pity her. Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name, and thou wilt show more bright and seem more virtuous when she is gone. Then open not thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is my doom which I have passed upon her. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool. You, niece, prepare yourself. If you outstay the time, upon mine honor, and in the greatness of my word, you die.
Oh, my poor Rosalind, whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change fathers? I will give thee mine. Prithee be cheerful. Knowest thou not the Duke hath banished me, his daughter?
That he hath not.
No, hath not. Rosalind lacks then the love that teacheth thee that thou and I are one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No! Let my father seek another heir. Therefore, devise with me how we may fly, whither to go and what to bear with us. And do not seek to take change upon me, to bear your griefs yourself and leave me out. For by this heaven, now it our sorrows pale. Say what thou canst. I'll go along with thee.
Why, where shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger will it be to us, maids as we are, to travel forth so far? Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold.
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, and with a kind of umber smirch my face, the like to you, so that we pass by and never stir assailants.
Were it not better? Because that I am more than common bold, that I did suit me all points, like a man. A gallant hunting rifle on my hip, a sharp knife in my belt, and in my heart lie there what hidden woman's fear there will. We'll have a swashing, and a marshal outside as many other mannish cowards have.
What shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own page, and therefore look you call me Ganymede. But what will you be called?
Something that hath reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Aliena.
But cousin, what if we essayed to steal the clownish fool out of your father's court? Would he not be a comfort to our travail?
He'll go along o'er the wide woe with me. Leave me alone to woo him. Now let's away, and get our jewels and wealth together. Devise the fittest time and safest way to hide us from the suit that will surely be made after my flight. Now go we in content, to liberty and not to banishment!
Can it be possible that no man saw them? It cannot be. Some villains of my quarter have consented sufferance in this.
I can hear of none that did see her, my lord.
The ladies, her attendants of her chamber, saw her to bed, and in the morning early found the bed untreasured of their mistress.
My lord, Touchstone, the clown, to whom so oft your grace was wont to laugh, is also missing. Hesperia, the princess gentlewoman, confesses that she secretly heard your daughter and her cousin much commend parts and graces of the wrestler that did but lately foil sinewy Charles.
And she believes wherever they are gone, that youth is surely in their company.
Send to his brother. Fetch Orlando hither. If he be absent, bring his brother to me. I'll make him find him. Do this suddenly, and let not search and inquisition fail to bring again these foolish runaways.
Young master, oh sweet master, why would you be so fond to overcome the bonny prizer of the moody duke? Your praise has come too swiftly home before you. Know you not, gentle master, but to some kind of men, their graces serve them but as enemies. No more to yours. Your virtues, gentle master, are but holy and sanctified traitors to you. Oh, what a world is this when what is comely envenoms him that bears it?
Why? What's the matter?
Oh, unhappy youth! Come not within these doors. Within this roof, the enemy of all your graces lives. Your brother. No, no brother. The son, yet not the son. I will not call him son. Of him I was about to call his father. In this night, plans to burn the lodgings where you used to lie, and you within it. If he do fail of that, he will have other means to cut you off. This is no place. This house is but a butchery. Abhor it, fear it, do not enter it.
Why, whither, Adam, wouldst thou have me go?
No matter whither, so you come not here.
What, wouldst thou have me go and beg my food? Or the base and boisterous weapon force a thievish living on the common road? This must I do, or know not what to do. Yet this I will not do how I can. I rather be subject to the malice of a diverted blood and bloody brother.
But do not so. I have 500 crowns, the thrifty hire I saved under your father, which I did store to be my foster nurse when service should in my old limbs lie lame and age in unregarded corners thrown. Take that, and he that doth the ravens feed, yea, providently caters for the sparrow, be comfort of my age. Here is the gold. All this I give you. Let me be your servant, for though I look old, I am strong and lusty. For in my youth I never did apply hot and rebellious liquors to my blood. Therefore my age is but a lusty winter, frosty but kindly. Let me go with you. I'll do the service of a younger man in all business and necessities.
Oh, good old man, how well in thee appears the constant service of the antique world, where service sweat for duty, not reward. Thou art not for the fashions of these times, where none sweat but for promotion. But good old man, thou prunest a rotten tree, that cannot so much as a blossom yield in lieu of all thy pains and husbandry. But come thy ways, we'll go along together, and ere we'll have thy youthful wages spent, we'll light upon some settled low content.
Master, go on, and I will follow thee to the last gasp with truth and loyalty. From 17 years until now nearly 80, here lived I. But here live I no more. At 17 years, many their fortunes seek, but at 80, it is too late a week. Yet fortune cannot recompense me better than to die well and not my master's debtor.
Monsieur Jaques.
I thank it. More, I prithee, more. I can suck melancholy from a song as a weasel sucks eggs. More, I prithee, more.
My voice is ragged. I know I cannot please you.
I do not desire you to please me. I do desire you to sing. Come, another stanza. Call you in stanzas?
What you will, Monsieur Jaques.
No, I cannot for their names. They owe me nothing. Will you sing?
More at your request than to please myself.
Then if I ever thank any man, I'll thank you.
Well, I will end the song.
The Duke will drink under this tree. He hath been all this day to look for you.
And I have been all this day to avoid him. He is too disputable for my company. I think on as many matters as he, but I give heaven thanks, and make no boast of them. Come. Warble! Come.
Who doth ambition shun, and loves to lie in the sun, seeking the food he eats, and dreams with what he can. Come hither, come hither, come hither, come hither. It shall be seen nowhere with me, but winter and rough weather.
Now, my co-mates and brothers in exile, hath not old custom made this life more sweet than that of painted pomp? Are not these woods more free from peril than the envious court? Here feel we not the penalty of Adam, the season's difference, as the icy fang and churlish chiding of the winter's wind, which when it bites and blows upon my body, even till I shrink with cold, I smile and say, this is no flattery. These are counsellors that feelingly persuade me what I am. Sweet are the uses of adversity, which like the toad, ugly and venomous, wears yet a precious jewel in his head. And this, our life, exempt from public thought, finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything.
I would not change it. Happy is your grace that can translate the stubbornness of fortune into so quiet and sweet a style.
Come, shall we go kill us venison?
And yet, it irks me. The poor dappled fools, being native burners of this desert city,
should in their own confines with forked heads have their round haunches. Gore!
Indeed, my lord, the melancholy Jacob grieves at that. In that case, whereas that you, do more usurp than doth your brother that hath banished you.
Thus, most inventively, he pierceth through the body of country, city, court, yea, and of this our life, swearing that we are mere usurpers, tyrants, and what's worse, to fright the animals and to kill them up in their assigned and native dwelling place.
And did you leave him in this contemplation?
We did, my lord. Weeping and commenting upon the suffering dear.
Show me the place. I love to meet him in these mournful fits, for then he's full of matter.
I'll bring you to him straight.
I care not for my spirits if my legs were not weary.
I could find it in my heart to disgrace my man's apparel and to cry like a woman. But I must comfort the weaker vessel, as doublet and hose ought to show itself courageous for petticoat. Therefore, courage, good Aliena.
Bear with me. I cannot go no further.
For my part, I'd rather bear with you than bear you!
Well, this is the forest of Arden.
Now I am in Arden. The more fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place. But travellers must be content.
I be so good touchstone.
Oh, Phoebe! Phoebe! Phoebe!
Look you. Who comes here?
That is the way to make her scorn you still.
Oh, Corin, that thou knewest how I do love her.
I partly guess, for I have loved ere now.
No, Corin. Being old, thou canst not guess. Though in thy youth thou wast as true a lover as ever sighed upon a midnight pillow. But, if thy love were ever like to mine, as sure I think did never a man love so,
how many actions, most ridiculous, hast thou been drawn to by thy fantasy?
Into 1,000! That I have forgotten.
Oh, thou hast then ne'er loved so heartily. If thou rememberest not, the slightest folly that ever love did make thee run into, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not sat, as I do now, wearying thy hero with thy mistress' praise, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not broke from company, abruptly as my passion now makes me, thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe! Phoebe! Phoebe!
Oh, Phoebe! 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 Alas, poor shepherd! Searching of thy wound, I have by hard adventure found mine own.
And I mine. I remember when I was in love. I came a night to Jane's smile, and I remember the kissing of her bucket, and the cow's dogs her pretty chapped hands had milked, and the wooing of a peas pod instead of her, from whom I took 2 pods, and giving her them again, said in weeping tears, "Wear these for my sake." We that are true lovers run into strange capers.
Thou speakst wiser than thou art aware of.
Nay, I shall ne'er be aware of my own wit till I break my shins against it.
Jove, Jove, this shepherd's passion is much upon my fashion.
And mine, but it grows something stale with me.
I pray you, will one of you quest yonder man if he for gold will give us any food? What? I faint almost to death.
Holla, you clown!
Peace, fool, he's not thy kinsman.
Who called?
Your betters, sir.
Else are they very wretched.
Peace, I say. Good evening to you, friend.
And to you, gentle sir, and to you all.
I prithee, if that love or gold can in this desert place by entertainment bring us where we may rest ourselves and feed, here's a young maid with travel much oppressed and faints for succour.
Fair sir, I pity her, and wish for her sake more than for my own my fortunes were more able to relieve her. But I am shepherd to another man, and do not share the fleeces that I graze. My master is of churlish disposition, and little recks to find a way to heaven by doing deeds of hospitality. Besides, his coat, his flock, and bounds of feed are now on sale, and at our sheepcote now, by reason of his absence, there is little that you will feed on. But what is, come see, and in my voice most welcome shall you be.
What is he that shall buy his flocks and pasture?
That young swain that you saw here but ere while, that little cares for buying anything.
I pray you, if it stand with honesty, buy thou the cottage, pasture, and the flock, and thou shalt have to pay for it of us.
And we will mend thy wages. I like this place and could willingly waste my time in it.
Assuredly the thing is to be sold. Go with me. If you like upon report the soil, the profit, and this kind of life, then I will your very faithful herdsman be, and buy it with your gold, right suddenly.
I think he be transformed into a beast, for I can nowhere find him like a man.
My lord, his butt even now gone hence. Here was he merry, hearing of a song.
If he compact of jars grow musical, we shall have shortly discord in the spheres. Go seek him. Tell him I will speak with him.
He saves my neighbour by his own approach.
Why, how now, monsieur? What a life is this that your poor friends must woo your company? What? You look merrily.
A fool! A fool! I met a fool in the forest! A motley fool! Oh, miserable! Well, as I who live by food, I met a fool who laid him down and basked him in the sun and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms. in good terms, and yet a fool. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, sir, quoth he, call me not a fool till heaven hath sent me fortune. And then he drew a dial from his poke, and looking on it with lacklustre eye, says very wisely, it is 10 o'clock. Thus we may see, says he, how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour since it was 9, and after 1 hour more 'twould be 11. And so, from hour to hour, we ripe and ripe, and then from hour to hour we rot and rot. Thereby hangs the tale. As I did hear the motley fool thus moral on the time, my lungs began to crow like Chanticleer, that fools could be so deep contemplative. And I did laugh, sans intermission, an hour by his dial. Oh, noble fool, a worthy fool. Motley's the only word.
What fool is this?
A worthy fool, one that has been a courtier, and says if ladies be but young and fair, they have the gift to know it. And in his brain, which is as dry as the remainder of biscuit after a voyage, he hath strange places crammed with observations, the which events in mangled forms. Oh, that I were a fool! I am ambitious for a motley coat.
Thou shalt have one.
It is my only suit. I must have liberty withal, as large a charter as the wind, to blow on whom I please, for so fools have. Invest me in my motley. Give me leave to speak my mind, and I will, through and through, cleanse the foul body of the infected world, if they will patiently receive my medicine.
Fie on thee! I can tell what thou wouldst do.
What for counter would I do but good?
Most mischievous foul sin in chiding sin, for thou thyself hast been a libertine, as sensual as the brutish sting itself, and all them docet sores and headed evils that thou with license of free foot hast caught, wouldst thou disgorge into the general world.
Aye, who cries out against pride that can therein blame any single man? Doth pride not flow as hugely the sea, toward its source's weary ebb way? Or what is he of basest function, that says his finery has naught to do with me, thinking that I mean him, but therein suits his folly to the metal of my speech? There then, how then, what then? Let me see wherein my tongue hath wronged him. If it do him right, then he hath wronged himself. If he be free, why then my taxing like a wild goose flies, unclaimed of any man. But who comes in?
Forbear and eat no more!
Why, I've ate none yet.
Nor shalt not till necessity be served.
What kind of fighting cock is this?
Art thou thus boldened, man, by thy distress? Or else such a rude despiser of good manners that in civility thou seemst so empty?
You touched my vein at first. The thorny point of bare distress hath ta'en from me the show of smooth civility. Yet I am city bred, and know some nurture. But forbear, I say. He dies that touches any of this fruit, till me and my affairs are answered.
And if you will not be answered with reason, I must die.
What would you have? Your gentleness shall force more than your force move us to gentleness.
I almost die for food. And let me have it!
Sit down and feed, and welcome to our table.
Speak you so gently? Pardon me, I pray you. I thought that all things had become savage here, and therefore put I on the countenance of stern commandment. But whate'er you are, let gentleness my strong enforcement be, in the which I blush and lay this by.
And therefore sit you down in gentleness, and take upon command what help we have, that to your wanting may be ministered.
Then but forbear your food a little while, whilst like a doe I go to find my fawn and give it food. There is an old poor man, who hath after me many a weary step, limped in pure love, till he be first sufficed, I press with 2 weak evils, age and hunger. I will not touch a bit.
Go find him out, and we will nothing waste till your return.
I thank ye, and be blessed for your comfort.
Thou seest we are not all alone unhappy. This wide and universal theatre presents more woeful pageants than the scene wherein we play.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his act being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, and then the whining schoolboy, with satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. And then the soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honour, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation, even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good cape on light, eyes severe, and beard of formal cut, full of wise swords and modern instances, and so he plays his part. Sick age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice, turning again towards childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sack. Last scene of all, and ends this strange, eventful history, his second childishness and mere oblivion, sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Welcome. Set down your venerable burden and let him feed.
I thank you most for him. So had you need. I scarce can speak to thank you for myself.
Welcome, Bolton. I will not trouble you as yet to question you about your fortunes. Give us some music, and good cousin, sing.
As man's ingratitude, thy tomb is not of thee, because thou art not seen, although thy breath be rude. Hey ho, sing hey ho, unto the green holly, whose friendship is fading, whose loving if folly, then hey ho, the holly. This life is most jolly. Free springs the winter sky, that does not bite so nigh, as benefits forgot. Though thou the waters warm, thy sting is not so sharp, as friends remembered not. Hey ho, sing hey ho, unto the green holly, most friendship is fading, most loving if folly, then hey ho, the holly. Then hey ho, the holly, this life is most jolly, this life is most jolly.
If that you be the good Sir Roland's son, as you have whispered faithfully you were, and as mine eye doth his fair likeness witness, most truly painted living in your face, be truly welcome hither. I am the Duke that loved your father. The remainder of your story, go to my cave and tell me. Good old man, thou art right welcome as thy master is. Support him by the arm, give me your hand, and let me all your fortunes understand.